Hey everybody, Nick here, and welcome to episode 3 of this Retrofit build. These last 2 episodes that we posted to the channel, we have been installing an HID retrofit system to the HHR SS. So far we have the retrofit headlights in, wired up, all ready to go. Today we're going to try and get the fog lights in and wire up the demon eyes for both the headlights and the fog lights. Before we get started with this video, I did want to go over a couple quick things that I realized after I uploaded the video that we absolutely did not include with the last video as far as the process of the build. So let's go over that real quick, and then we're just going to dive into getting the rest of this finished. All right, so I got my light on, so hopefully we can see. So here's the main thing that went down. So we have both headlights installed. Now, as far as getting them wired up and connected to a power source, we actually have a relay harness over here for now until I can figure out how I want to mount it and attach it. But what we did is we took all the wires from here. The wires that feed into the driver's side headlight are actually going in a miniature hole that is right off to the side here, which of course is very difficult to see because of all these wires, but they are feeding down through there. They are plugging into the amplifier, which is directly underneath the headlight within the bumper. So we have those wires coming down, connected into the amplifier that's here, and then of course is all wired into there. Now, this entire HID system, that relay harness is actually only connected to the wiring harness for the car on the driver's side. I guess it gives it enough power just from that one source. So on the passenger side, the only thing that's connected to this headlight is the actual amplifier itself. Nothing from the car. So the wiring that's actually attached to the car for this headlight, we just put electrical tape over top of it so it doesn't make any connections with anything within that car. Hot side for this relay is actually connected right here with the fuse box, which is giving us power. The wiring harness for the fog lights is probably the same setup. It's probably only going to connect to one of the fog light connections that's wired into the car right now. First thing we have to do is remove the bumper from the car, and then we can get started. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this headlight so we have access to the hole in the frame here so we can run the fog light relay down through there and we have enough clearance here. So let's get this thing out of the way first and we'll go from there. Alright, so we have the ballast wired up with everything ready to go, and then the igniter is right here. Well, if you could see. Sorry, the igniter is connected, and that's what will connect to the fog light bulb right down there. So let's move on to the other side. So quick little correction. We have the igniter has to go into this wiring harness. The igniter there has to go into this wiring harness, which then gets connected into the fog light. Now all of this is ready to go. Before we plug all of this in, another quick thing, take a look. We grounded this harness to the strut tower over here. Once we get all of this figured out, we have the positive side, which is going to go to the fuse block up there, and then we should be good to go. Now, before we start plugging any of this in, as some of you have realized, our demon eyes turn on when you turn the high beams on, which means that we messed up some wiring here. So what we're going to do is we're going to change that up a little bit so the demon eyes work when we put daytime running lights on instead. Let's give it a shot. All right, quick update. So remember how we said that for some reason the halos would come on with the high beams? Well, what we just decided to do is we took the wiring for the halo and tapped it into the turn signal. So now when we have parking lights on, we have just halos and turn signal lights. All right, to fast forward a little bit, we have the Bluetooth controller set up right here, and both headlights are connected. Fog lights will be connected as soon as we get the bumper on, and we have 2 connections right here that have to be made, and then we can start with connecting everything to battery sources, and we're good to go. So I'm gonna get this on, and then I'll be ready. All right, so this build is finally complete. There is one more step, however, and that is to figure out how we can wire up for the Bluetooth controlled demon eyes for both the headlights and the fog lights. So one thing to show you real quick, everything is connected. So you can see we have the Bluetooth controller right here inside of the bumper. The one thing that I noticed is when we did have this powered on and paired to my phone, I wasn't getting any lights in the headlights or the fog lights. So my guess is that I have to redo the connections for the pigtails that are, I'm gonna have to resolder the connections going from the actual demon eyes into the controller here to make sure all of that is good. But for some reason that's not working, and not quite sure why. Because all these colors are different. Look at that. But on the Morimoto side, notice it's backwards. Black, red. You can see they're all different. The black is connected to the green. The green is connected to the blue. The red is connected to the red, but the blue is connected to the black. So I'm gonna have to redo these wires to make sure that these colors coincide with the colors that are over here. I don't have my soldering iron on me today, so that's just not gonna work. And that is it for today's update. Thank you for checking in. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big old thumbs up, and please make sure you hit that subscribe button below to see the continuation of this build. See ya.